Welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is the 50th annual American Flying Disc Open. We are at the Parma Town Disc Golf course. This is maybe 10 miles northwest of Rochester, New York. Really can't believe Jim Palmeri's story of this event. And Randon, this is actually one of the longest disc golf tournaments in the world.
Yeah, that's just incredible, Nate. I mean, you can see there on the logo, that's the Datsun he gave out. One of the first years of this tournament, might have been the very first year, and I believe Dan Stork-Roddick was the one who won it.
PDGA number 3, guys, came all the way to Rochester to play the Flying Disc Open, and Jim actually went to the dealership and said, hey, I'm going to sell a bunch of tickets and we're going to give away the car. We're going to pay for the car with the spectator tickets. He actually only sold 3 tickets, so paid for the car himself. Pretty surreal story, and the tour has arrived here 50 years later.
Yeah, and the tournament named after Jim for all the hard work he's done here for 50 plus years. So we come to hole 10, 315-foot par 3 with a bit of a pond carry towards the end of the end of the hole. We see Bobby and Manabu find the water, and I like the OB rules on this hole. If there's no drop zone, it's wherever you were last inbounds. So there's OB behind the basket as well.
So not quite a true island. Definitely playing like one.
Matteo just staying inside the ropes there towards the back of the green. Yeah, shake that one off and
oh, healthy run. A little slow front from Manabu. Let's see if he finds a rhythm here on the back. Players have had quite a lot of issues with the slick tee pads here, and conditions are improving just a bit, but pretty much all day was like playing disc golf in a cloud, huh?
Yeah, the sun did not show itself too often. And Matteo having a bit of a rollaway off the cage there. Yeah, earlier in the day there was a lot of mist, light rain. It definitely kept things moist. Things started to dry up for these later cards, and see Ezra knock down a great circle 1 putt for birdie here on the 10th.
Yeah, it's back-to-back misses for Matteo there on 9 and 10. After starting off pretty hot with the putter, Bobby Jones tapping that one in upside down.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any actual evidence that shows that it catches any better, or maybe people just prefer doing it. It comes out of the hand a bit cleaner, perhaps. So we get to hole 11 here. This is what I think is the most demanding tee shot on the course. It's not very long, playing at 375, and the drone took you through the bigger gap. However, that is much harder to hit from the tee. As you see, there's trees scattered all throughout the fairway. This hole is just very tight and demanding, Nate. It's going to require a bit of a straight to turnover shot for these righty players, right-handed players, and if you can get a birdie on this hole, you are doing something good.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward shape here. There's this tree right in the middle, and yeah, Ezra's going inside that middle tree, and that is on a rope right there. Wow. And even that I don't think is going to find the circle.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the better drives I've seen, and I believe Ezra threw his F1 there. Very trusty fairway disc he relies on for shots like this.
Wow, and Matio's going outside that tree with something really flippy.
And although that's not in circle one, I don't believe he's going to be very happy with that.
And this is Manabu's roller disc, that flippy H7.
Wow, another great tee shot. No one finding any of these early trees yet. This gap either side is so demanding.
Now, were many people trying the forehand on this one, or is it a little too straight of a finish for that?
It depends how you want to play. I think your forehand will work, but like you said, it won't get you as straight and as far as you need to get to this green. So good the whole way.
Yeah, Ezra must have got a late tree. I felt like he had plenty of pace to get closer than the 50 feet that he had.
Oh. Bobby with a great par putt there, just a little high. I love the way his putt just has a lot of pace, nose up. I mean, we saw a bunch on the front nine. He was all over the basket from that distance, and I think he's going to get a couple to fall here soon.
Now, coming into this tournament, what'd you feel like some hot scores were going to be? Were you and your friends that you were practicing with, were you guys aware that the scores were going to be, sub double digits?
We definitely kind of took some bets whether or not anyone would get to 10 under or better. We thought a really good score would be anywhere from 6 to 9.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to stay clean on this course with quite a bit of OB, and some of these more wooded holes are just very tight and tricky. As we come to hole 12, it's another really tight par 3. It kind of parallels hole 11, coming back up the fairway now, and again, tight gap off the tee. Trees open up a bit, but we have a bunch down here towards the green that can limit skips or possibly even help you if you're a bit off. It can kick you towards the basket.
This is FX2 here for Ezra. Wow, clean.
Just about
It's
gave it an
one of those
ace
kicks
run.
you were talking about. Almost kicks it into the basket. Oh, Matio playing this left side. Little finger pop.
Wow. Yeah, I saw this in practice, but opted for the backhand, and clearly Matio has no need to throw a backhand when you can do that. Wow. Manabu also opting for the forehand, and looks like he got himself up there for a putt. It's a great shot.
Oh, goodness me. Get one.
And Nate, on a Friday like this, we had an amazing gallery from the Rochester community. I mean, it looked to be at least 100 people out there this afternoon, and just really awesome to see for an event of this size and this caliber that people were coming out even on a day that was a bit cloudy and muggy.
Yeah, they were so happy to have anyone that they could get. I know a lot of the bigger names kind of, pulled out of this so late because of Worlds, and I saw a lot of the locals really thanking the players that that did stick it out, as you could say, and play this event.
Ezra with a great birdie. Yeah, World starts next Wednesday. You know, after we finish this event, we have 2 days to get to Vermont, which is not a lot of time at all to get ready for such a big event. So many people opted to drop out and take that time to kind of get ready. And like you said, if you stuck it through and kind of came to this event, I think the crowds and the people and just the whole community of Rochester really made it feel like it was worth it. And this course is very challenging and fun to play, so no, I'm glad I stuck it out.
Cool. Yeah, it's fun to watch. I'm happy I'm here as well. All right, and after 12 holes, Martin Hindle is separating himself. Ezra Robinson just 2 behind, and quite a few players just under par.
Billy Rossini and I go back to 2007, I believe. Billy was one of the guys that was actually sponsored in Charlotte by Innova. He said, hey, here's my product, and I was already in. All the scoring that we do in our sport now is all digital. Having some sort of backup power source is gonna be really important. We feel that it's good quality product. And having a stash pack that holds the cable that connects to any device, it just works. It's not just my business partner, it's my friend. And so that's why this thing really works for me.
So the Slammer, it doesn't fly as far as the Harp, but that's exactly what I designed it for. It was designed for me to be able to throw hard with the real severe angles, a lot of flex shots, and it's a unique spot in the bag. So that's why I think it's becoming so popular.
All right, hole 13. I believe the only par 5 on the course for this division. Ton of airspace off the tee here. You really want to bite off as much distance as you can, and then you just have a little setup shot for your second. You want to get around this willow tree, but you really want to make sure you do not push too straight into the back wall of trees, or you'll completely close off that angle. And the further you push up into this gap, the easier this final approach is going to be. But 935 feet, one of the more scoreable holes on the property.
Yeah, as we see Ezra throw that same red distance driver, he threw quite a bit in the front 9. It's going to be a little bit on the left side, but with this hole being so long, it shouldn't be an issue for him to throw another shot into a good position.
And Matty O getting that drive to stand up just a bit. First down. And Manabu getting that D1 to drift, and that's plenty of distance.
Wow,
Jones
yeah.
turning the catch cam around.
He did. He had a whole flex out of that one, and
The man's in his 60s, Randon. What'd you say the first time that he played this tournament? 86 or something?
I believe it was 86.
Wow.
And yeah. Way before I was even a thought, you know. It's incredible to see that he can still come out here and perform with some of the world's best players, and, you know, just be not only an inspiration, but someone who's really fun to hang out with and throw some really good disc golf shots.
And Manabu pushing up into the gap. Oh, cutting some branches off the willow there, and that's in prime position. Probably a chip forehand in.
Yeah, he probably has a little under 150 to the basket, and the basket does sit on a bit of a little hill with some roots, so it can make the upshots a bit tricky coming in here, as we'll see. Just really want to watch the speed coming in.
Come on.
Whoa.
When Bobby and his caddy talked about this shot for quite a while, and
No way.
ends up going over the top, and he finds it.
I'm in shock.
Yeah.
We just got done talking about the man being 65 years old almost, and he's throwing a spike hyzer over some of the taller trees on the property. I mean,
And him and his caddy were pumped about that one. The crowd was pumped.
anybody would be. That was incredible. And see Matteo throwing a nice forehand into the green. Ezra's going backhand turnover. Yeah, slows down nicely on some of those roots and should have a birdie look. Oh, good.
No, that would have been such a memorable up and down.
I'm still kind of blown away, Nate. That wasn't.
Yeah, to even
that was
attempt it,
something.
the trees are towering. He almost has the Michael Johansson mini pickup. As soon as he sees that it's going in.
Yeah, you just get that feeling after so many years that when the disc comes out of your hand, you know you've done it right. See Matteo tapping his birdie putt there. Looks like we had 3 down for the card. Very, very good scores. Heading into hole 14, par 4, 520 feet. Bit of a tight tee shot here. Not as tight as some of the last holes, but definitely has some low-hanging branches you want to avoid, and it opens up to this nice green area. The basket's actually really cool. It's tucked behind this hill here on the right, which makes eagle opportunities possible. With a good roller or a crazy backhand flex shot, I've seen some shots get up into 100 feet or so, and OB does wrap around the left side and behind the basket, so goal here is just get out of the gap cleanly and get up and down.
Oh, and Ezra is going roller here. Just looks like a little too much cut, and it is. Finds the OB left.
Man, that was so close to being, like I said, an eagle look nearly. I mean, he had that thing moving.
And Matteo actually going with the air shot here. Oh, that's clean.
Yep. And the fairway looked very big there.
Manabu kind of slowing down on that one, but he's in position. Yeah, it's only 520 feet. You really don't need too much distance.
Get lucky.
Oh.
What are you gonna do? One more.
Yeah, great shot from Bobby. He's going to put him right back in the middle of the fairway.
Now this shot might seem pretty simple, but it's somewhat difficult, right? To kind of calculate the distance. You're pretty much blind on most parts of this fairway. You can't see this pin.
Yeah, it takes a lot of speed control with the forehand like that, especially with the OB wrapping around the back side of the green. All these guys doing a fairly good job of giving themselves a chance to make a putt.
Yeah, Ezra's going to have that circle 2 look for his par.
Come on. Drop. Come on.
I believe that's going to be Ezra's first bogey of the round. Unfortunate after throwing a fairly good drive and just having it cut into the OB. Fist pump by Bobby there. Stoked to get up and down for par from where his drive landed.
Yeah, I mean, man's having a good time. He's 8 over par, but, you know, he realizes that, you know, he's here to entertain and just enjoy the moment.
It certainly is, and Matteo with a nice long circle's edge putt there for birdie to keep his round going in the right direction.
High. Manabu double checks it as it falls into the bottom of this veteran. All right, 15, another short technical par 4 here. A little bit of OB on the left side, the edge of that creek. And this road kind of meanders through the trees here. A lot of players are going to follow that road on the right side for a bit and then hope to hyzer out into the middle of this field. You can bite off a ton of distance on this one and make this approach up the hill a little easier. And you can also hit a tree early and make a pretty big scramble shot up this hill. There is some OB deep of this pin and ton of rollaway potential on this basket.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part about some of these shorter par 4s, that, you know, they're in no way reachable, but you really have to play to your own strengths and decide what you'd like to do, if you want to bite off a lot of distance or if a more controlled mid-range shot or fairway shot's what you'd like to do. Manabu following the road perfectly. Hyzer out and get over that ditch.
Good spot to be. Might be a little pinch there. Bobby with this flippy D2 he's been throwing, and towel pickup right away.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
That was quick. He knew he threw that one well. And unfortunately, I saw him all around. I think his left knee's hurting him a bit, and that one looked like it hurt him quite a bit. Oh, as we're going distance driver, and wow, he's going to get past that tree out into that field. He's going to make that upshot very easy for himself.
Hold it. Oh, nice little tree direct there. He'll have a look for birdie. You have to love that style that he puts on those touch shots.
It's just so controlled looking. I mean, the way his hand stays out, he's still directing it halfway through the flight because he knows where he wants it to go. And
Go in. Get it.
oh man, that's just showing you how to play this hole. You have 450 feet of distance. It's gonna make a really easy drop in birdie, and should see a lot of tricky uphill putts here.
And from just inside the circle, this hill's much steeper than it looks on this camera, and I really do feel sometimes it's better to go with the straddle stance when it's hard to get your normal footing. At least I often see better results when players go with the straddle.
Yeah, I think it just widens your base a bit and helps stay balanced on a slopey surface like that.
Yeah, man.
Crowd likes it. Matteo likes it. That's going to be another birdie for Matteo. Manabu will be a bit disappointed with a par in that hole after having a inside the circle birdie look. But next hole has a great chance of being birdied.
Martin Hindle holding on to that lead through 15. Matteo 1 behind, Ezra 2 back. Tony Farrow, Levi Hancock, a couple of names making a push there. And here we go, Randon, little speed control island right here, just 265, but plays even shorter, slightly downhill. And this is a true island here. If you miss it, you're headed to a drop zone, which is, what, maybe 60 feet across the creek?
Yeah, you still have to navigate the creek in this little wall here if you end up missing the island. But it is fairly big on the left side with these little trees that can kind of help catch and filter things to the green. And the rock wall you see is almost just for show. It's not preventing too many shots because it's so downhill. They seem to come over top of it pretty easily.
Mario's going to have that for 5 in a row all of a sudden.
Favorable kick. Didn't go too far left or right. It's going to keep him on the island with a chance for birdie. So smooth by Manabu. Again, catching a late tree, but it's going to kick him straight down and have a chance for birdie.
Be the one. We're just getting it down.
All right, 4 for 4. Pretty rare. It's short, but it's tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Clean stroke from deep in the circle. He moves to 6 under par. Yeah, he's 4 down on the back with a bogey.
Manabu with a great smooth stroke there to get his 3rd birdie of the back 9. Get him to 3 under. Starting to get things going here. And look at that. And we have a start for him.
That's it, huh?
The first one of the day, I believe.
Okay, here we go. We still have, what do we have? A little 18-footer right here?
Nothing
Oh,
to go.
and
Can't
he's
clean
good
up.
for it. Left side.
Bobby showing his excitement there for Carr doing a good job getting all those birdies, and we're on a hole 17. I believe this is the hardest hole, or one of the hardest holes, 1 or 2 on the course. 665 feet, plays uphill off the tee. Just a lot of trees on the right and left to navigate through the center of. Dog legs left here, kind of the same situation. We have trees scattered throughout right and left, and kind of dips down and comes back uphill with this one tree in the middle right before the basket. Nate, what were some of the shots you were seeing on this? I mean, I know we were trying all kinds of stuff in practice. I mean,
Yeah, I saw a lot of these drivers on this baby Annie to try and get back to flat and just cover as much ground as possible. That's a beautiful shot, but even that, it's not even to the dog leg yet, so
yeah.
he hasn't even made the corner. Ezra getting this one a little flatter, that nose. You know, it's really difficult to throw a shot uphill and also get the nose down. I think that's why this is playing as one of the harder holes. It's just because of how awkward this little hill is.
yeah, as we see Manabu as well, getting a nice turn out of it and fading out just a bit early before the corner, and all these shots are going to be a bit tricky. Didn't quite make it all the way to the dog leg. Bobby throwing that same flippy D2, and not quite the turn he needed, but it's going to have a great kick back to the center of the fairway.
Yeah, those are 4 really clean drives. It's
Go, baby.
pretty easy to hit left or right or just at the top of the hill and have to throw your second just to get to the dog leg. Oh, and Matty O is actually going to do just that. Just going to pitch out. No, I don't think he actually likes that result.
Yeah, this left side is tricky. I mean, you want to go for birdie like looks like Ezra's doing here with a forehand. Oh man, look at this. Rolls back off the base of that tree, inside circle 1. That's a great second shot on this hole. But Matty O jump putting, trying to get back to the fairway after throwing a really clean tee shot. I mean, it just shows the difficulty of this hole.
Yeah, he thought about that one for quite a while, too.
Wow, another great up shot.
2 for 2 on forehands today.
Matty O cleaned up his par, and after that jump putt didn't quite get in the position he needed, he threw a great third shot to give himself a chance, and he's going to walk away with a par.
And that's a beautiful birdie. That's just one of 4 birdies. He joins Braden Sides, Gillis McDougall, and Blake Runsky. Shout out to them. 4 birdies out of 80.
Wow. Yeah, and I guarantee you they all did it differently too. You know, this hole, with how many trees it has, just demands different types of shots.
Here we are, closing out this opening round here in Rochester. It's just 285 feet, but pretty daunting little series of gaps here. You have one right off the tee, and then you have this late gap here that's right past the OB Creek. And I believe this one is also playing like a true island. If you go OB, you're headed straight to a drop zone.
Yes, it sure does, and the drop zone is not very forgiving. It's towards the base of this hill and 60 feet or so, looking straight up at the basket. And
Bobby, great to meet you. Bobby. And of course.
whoa. Any idea? Who wouldn't like to finish the round like that?
Sure as it gets with that putter. He just a little bit of hyzer out of the hand, flips up to flat, and just seems to ride straight.
Matty O drifting a little left, but he's going to get inside the circle as well. And both these guys looking to finish really hot. A lot of green on their scorecards right now.
Yeah, the back nine seems to be a bit more scoreable.
Yeah, I think they're a bit shorter. The holes are a bit shorter, but I'd say they're just as tricky. And maybe there's a few more par threes that give you a chance to, get a couple twos on the scorecard. And see, Manabu stayed in bounds. He's gonna pitch up for his par.
No, I missed it.
Bobby doing the same.
Bobby didn't quite get a long one to drop today, but really fun to watch him play, and he actually closed out his back nine pretty well.
Matty out there. What a round.
6 down on the back.
Yeah.
With 5 in a row there on a difficult stretch.
Playing in front of an amazing crowd here in Rochester. A fun card, Manabu from Japan. Matty O, Bobby Jones, the local, and Ezra here tapping in his birdie. Absolute park job to finish. Also, 8 down. Just a couple of really good scorecards there.
Yeah, 6 down on the back for both Matty O and Ezra. Manabu kind of found his rhythm there on the back, shooting 2. And taking a look at the scores there, Martin Hindle, hot round, new course record at the new Parma Town Park disc golf course layout. I believe they made a lot of these new holes for this Disc Golf Pro Tour event specifically, so Martin will be joined by Matty O and Ezra Robinson. And from Randon Latta and Nate Perkins, thank you guys so much for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. We will see you tomorrow for another rainy round here in Rochester.